Yeah, I had a whole list prepared, like, okay, I need to go here, I need to find new friends. But yeah, then you kind of realize that it's not how it is. You need to go with the flow and just like let circumstances navigate your way. But yeah, honestly, that was one big, definitely. I would say it wasn't easy for sure because one thing I kind of underestimated was the power of speaking French. I thought it's just for namesake, like, okay, like maybe bonjour and like ça va, is enough.
Even I did not know how to speak French when I initially came over here. I started learning through Duolingo. Whatever it helped. It really helped somewhere. Yeah. Not patience, you really have to be constantly like keep knocking at the door saying that did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Like, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Curry Meets Croissant. And this is episode number 11. Yes. And if you're new here, then this is the podcast where we dive deep into the real experiences of international students. We talk about beyond the glamour, beyond the Instagram posts, and into the everyday struggles that a student has to go through. So, today we are talking about something that can truly make or break your experience as an international student, from building friendships and navigating relationships in a completely new culture. So, moving to a new country is always exciting. But let's be real for a minute. It can be also lonely. Like making friends, finding your community, and even figuring out dating in a different culture comes with its own set of challenges. And to talk about it, I have a special guest today joining me. She's from Bangalore and she is currently pursuing her bachelor's in business administration from Lyon. Right now, she is in Paris pursuing her internship, but still, she has 2 more years to complete her degree. We actually connected through Instagram again. And big shout out to social media in that case because it comes so handy to connect with people. And that's how we ended up recording this episode today. So let's get into it. What it takes to build new friendships, find your person, and maybe even navigate dating while you're abroad. So grab yourself a coffee, sit down and settle down, and let's enjoy today's episode. Okay, hi Tia. Welcome to Curry Meets Croissant today, and I'm really happy that we connected over Instagram. And yeah, here we are today. But yeah, thank you so much. And how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling super, super great and excited to be here. Thank you to you for having me. It's been lovely today because I finished my daily dose of exercise and I enjoyed it. So I'm great.
Yeah, please tell me, like, tell everybody about yourself a little bit.
So I'm Tia and I come from Bangalore. I am currently pursuing my bachelor's studies in Lyon. And right now I'm in Paris for my internships. So I'm going to be here for 6 months and it's been exciting so far.
That's so awesome. I think we really have to meet sometime soon.
After I found out that you live close by, definitely.
Sure. After we end the episode, we're gonna share locations and obviously we're gonna meet.
100%.
Yeah, so tell me about it. Like when you first moved to France, what was your biggest fear about making friends?
I think when I first moved to France, I came with unrealistic expectations because when you're coming to a new country altogether, you have a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I think, be it from your family or from your friends itself, that, oh my God, you're going to go there, you're going to forget us, you're going to find new friends. So, somewhere it kind of like cultivates in your brain that, okay, you have to find new friends now. And what you don't realize is that it's a new country. It's okay. You still don't know how everything works there, like where people find friends or how people meet, etc. So I did not give myself time for it. I think I would be like too desperate when I first came here. I was like, okay, now my mission is 1 week into France, and I was like, okay, I need to find like French, Mexicans, British, Americans. I was like, calm down. Like, you need
You
to
had
calm.
a whole list.
Yeah, I had a whole list prepared, like, okay, I need to go here, I need to find new friends. But yeah, then you kind of realize that it's not how it is. You need to go with the flow and just like let circumstances navigate your way, you know. But yeah, honestly, that was one big, I would say, unrealistic expectation that I had. But then slowly it gets better.
Yeah, but did you end up making friends?
Definitely. I would say it wasn't easy for sure because one thing I kind of underestimated was the power of speaking French. I thought it's just for namesake, like, okay, you know, like maybe bonjour and like ça va is enough. But only when you come here, you realize that English is literally not used at all. Especially in smaller cities like Lyon, like people do not speak English. Even if they know, they won't speak in English. It's you who really has to put in efforts to communicate better with them, and because you care, like you want to make new friends, they don't care because they already have a life here. So when I gave it time and slowly, you know, like started meeting new people and just without like having mind blocks, letting myself, you know, like go to places where I would kind of feel like uncomfortable because, you know, like social settings would be like kind of, I don't know, difficult. You just like, yeah, push yourself and then you make a lot of like beautiful friendships.
True. I think initially for me also it was difficult to make friends because even I had the ideology that because I was staying away from my parents from the age of 18, I was like, okay, maybe if I've stayed away in India in different like states, I think it'll be easy for me over here as well. Even I did not know how to speak French when I initially came over here. I started learning through Duolingo. Whatever it helped, it really helped somewhere. And yeah, I know how to order my coffee, but not above that. So I understand basic terms, and yeah, if I listen to them carefully, then I understand. But I had this, immense gut in me that I was like, okay, how hard, difficult will it be? And then a month went by, and I was like, I can't do it. It's tough. I give up.
Definitely. I think that's where I got lucky because I had quite a lot of international
Mhm.
students in my class because I think that's the number one place you could like make friends. And it turned out that one of them was also living in the same residency as me.
So,
And I just walk into my apartment one fine day and I look behind and I see him and I'm like, wait, is he following me? But like, let's get out of the delusion. And I was like, oh, so you live here? And he's like, yeah. I was like, do you know we're in the same class? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so do you want to go to like university together every day then? And he's like, yeah, sure, that would be cool. And now, you know, like we're good friends and it just builds upon, you know. So it's somewhere it's luck and somewhere you have to take the first step. Because had I never asked him for his socials, I think we wouldn't even connect and we would just literally live in the same building, but we would never say hi to each other.
yeah, I think moving far away from family also, somewhere social media also helps. That if you are not connected with somebody through any social platform, I think then you're not connected with the person at all. It does not matter that you always have to exchange numbers. You follow each other on any platform. At least you're connected. I think that's really important. That where like social media plays a very big role.
One more difference I had was because when back home, when say for instance you meet someone new, you always take their numbers or you're like in the habit of, you know, asking them for their numbers and not socials precisely because then that number goes to your parents so that they keep a track like, okay, you know, like I know your friend. If I don't have you by
Very but okay.
yeah, like I'm gonna call your friend and you know, I'm gonna make sure that you're safe, this, that. I'm like, relax. But over here, it's like kind of less pressurizing that, okay, even if you don't want to, like, not comfortable sharing your numbers,
Mhm.
social media is more than enough. And you know, you can, I still don't have like some of my friends' phone numbers and it's fine because literally social media has been there.
No, I think we have very opposite cultures when you're talking about like getting work done. I think in back in India, people they at least respond your email very quickly, even though it takes time for the work to happen. Can be like a month time or maybe some weeks time. But over here, just to get a reply to an email, also it's a task. At least
So
reply to an email, I'm fine. At least the moment you stop responding is something that I should worry
piss
about.
me off. Yeah, like
But if
I
you're responding, if you're telling me that something is going on, I am ready to understand it. But if you don't reply at all, how will I know what is happening? How will I know how to do things also in time?
Totally.
Yeah.
But like they say, if you can withstand going through the whole process of French administration, trust me, you can do anything in this world. Literally anything.
Like I anyways have the habit of, getting after somebody if I have to get the work done. Even if it annoys the shit out of them, still do it. I'll still be like, please get it done. Please, when is it happening? I'll like send multiple emails and like every single day saying that you did not reply. Tell me what it is. Just a gentle reminder. When is it happening? And then, yeah, after a month, yeah, they do it. Still takes a whole month, but okay.
Better late than never.
Exactly. Where do you think international students can meet people outside of university, like through common hobbies or like events or social media apps?
I'll tell you what worked for me. I, like I said, I love adventure, doing adventurous things altogether. So what worked for me was I used to enroll myself in lots of different sports classes.
Mhm.
Like I've done horse riding, I've done rowing in the river. I've also tried salsa. And these are the places I've met the most beautiful people out there. Like it's so much fun when you do things crazy things with people you didn't know you would gel with, but you did.
Mhm.
And, but it does not have to always be this case because you can also meet them at like basic places like a cafe. Because
Yeah.
over here, the whole concept of stranger danger isn't that, big of a deal. Back home, like, oh my God, some guy at the cafe or coffee shop would literally, like approach you and you'd be like, oh my God, no, mommy said don't talk to strangers. But over here, you're like, no, you know what? Like, literally, people would come up to you and you talk to them and now you're good friends. Wow. So there's no like judgment as to who can be your friend over here. Anybody could be your friend. Like the bartender there, or maybe like someone working behind the cash counter. Like anybody could be your friend here.
Yeah, I think I'm really against the wording when it comes to like stranger danger thing that what our parents taught us, but they also force us to get married to a stranger, which is not nice. Then
Ironic.
yeah, it's very iconic and it's like a hypocrite move. Like, why will you do this? You only taught me when I was younger to stay away from strangers. And also, if we don't end up meeting strangers, we don't end up making beautiful memories. Or maybe make friends, or maybe encounter somebody who can be our everything later on. So, yeah.
I mean, I've come across situations as such. Like, I last year I had a friend here for an exchange, and they knew someone from another city in France who were gonna visit us in Lyon to just like explore Lyon and stuff. So
Yeah.
my friends asked, "Would you like to join? Like it would be fun. We'll go as a big group." I was like, "Okay, sure, why not?" So I meet them first. I meet those friends first, and I'm kind of like, okay, it's kind of awkward because I don't share anything in common with them. But later on, once you start talking to them, it's so fun because you never knew that you could share like such common things with them. And they were just here for one weekend, and the next weekend, I was like, you know what? Let me just go to their place, their city,
Mhm.
and stay at their place. And they were like really sweet enough to like let me live with them. And I've had one of the most like good time over there. Like 4 days, I was enjoying. And who would say that I just met them last weekend? Like it was so quick. I would never do that back home, but here I'm like, okay, let's go, let's live with strangers.
Exactly. I
It's all
mean, it is a very beautiful journey. Like you encounter meeting people that you like also, and even yeah, enjoying company, like sharing the same company with them. It's also again very pretty and honest thing. As long as you're enjoying, as long as you're having a good time, that is what it matters.
That's the best part. Nobody gets to tell you what you have to do or what you should do. You do what you do, want to do, like just enjoy.
Of course. And Like you have so much memories, you have it, like you collect so much memories in your bank, that you have so much to tell also to people, that you know what, I did this, and they'll be like, yeah, maybe if I would have done this, would have made a lot of sense. But yeah, exactly, experiences speaks a lot, and you learn also from it. So
Literally, experiences are one of the like topmost things I would be proud of for myself. Like now I've done like so many different things that I used to fear before, that now it's like you give me anything, any place, like I would go, I wouldn't be scared, or I would try out things, that I used to be scared of before, but now I'm like super like, okay, if I could like switch countries and like switch cities also and live in new places every now and then, manage the whole move, the whole social life change, I can literally do anything now.
but yeah, what would you choose, like making international friends or like local friends?
A mix of both, but I would say more internationals because, no, honestly, I would say mix of both. Yeah, I cannot pick sides because locals really help you with the day-to-day stuff, I would say. And what you discover with them would be something that the internationals wouldn't get you because they're also in the same boat as you. They don't know anything about the city and they're also still figuring out. But that's what makes you closer to internationals, right? Because, okay, now you have someone who's literally in the same boat. So I would say it's 50-50.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there are some local people that I even know that they help me a lot. And yeah, there are international people also I know that they help me a lot too. So I think even I will end up choosing 50-50. I think it's good to have like a good balance of it.
Yeah, totally.
So when you move to France and you have been all your life in India, so what is the difference that you noticed in dating cultures back in India and also in France?
Uh, it would definitely be communication because back home, I would say people communicate in a very indirect way. You're supposed to pick up on these hints and like, or maybe like a guy likes you, but he's not gonna tell it to your face unless he knows that you like him too. So what he'll do, he'll send his friends and the whole rumor start like, do you know, like I heard like he likes you. Do you like him too? Like, and
Don't
that leads.
ask me if I like you or
Yeah,
not.
just ask me why you're including like all these bunch of different people who are not going to be in the relation with us, right? And that leads to so many misunderstandings and miscommunications that, oh my God, like he said that, but like she said that, like please. But over here, when you come here and because you've always lived in that way, you also somewhere kind of like, okay, tend to drop hints and if you like someone, blah, 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 whatever, you do stuff like that. But then you see that this guy has directly approached you, like, I like you. Would you like to go out? And I'm like, wow, it was that easy and that quick. Wait, did I get this right? Because I've not been used to this. Like back home, it's like play hard to get or do this, do
Yeah.
that. Over here, like straight to point. And that's what I love about like I would say French people to be very precise, like they're very direct, like assertive and direct. Like they're not gonna play around and be like, okay, waste time. Like, okay, I think I like you, but then this, that. Like, no, if I like you, do you like me back, or do you want to grab a coffee? That's it, and it's easy. It doesn't have to feel daunting or pressurizing.
Yeah, even I feel like, if you like somebody, just go and tell them. Why to think two ways about it? Either they'll say no, or either they'll say yes. They won't hit you or something. But I think back in India also, I feel I don't know anybody like who has hit on me from different culture or different country, any kind of people like that. But as per my experience, I think if my friends, they'll see and they'll laugh a lot on this. But yeah, as per my experience, I feel they tend to over exaggerate also a lot of things. Then
Yeah.
they say a lot and they do nothing at all.
I have seen that happen with my best friends back home, and as much as I hate it, because I really pity the girls that they are dating, like, oh my God, girls, you can do better. I know they're my friends, but like, literally, like, please get your standards high, because this guy literally comes home and, talks shit about like all these things, and
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like, yeah, like, she could have done better. Like, sir, I think you are the problem. Let me remind you, please.
God, yeah, I think it's always hilarious. Like after a point of time, if you talk about your past experiences in a relationship, I think it's always funny because then you laugh on yourself, you laugh on what the other person also did to you, and yeah, it's just a fun thing. But
Totally.
how do you handle like long distance friendship or relationships when you move from different cities to cities?
I would say that's where you really need to make friends that share low main. I mean, that friendships that are low maintenance, because if you're stuck with the opposite, it's a disaster because they're constantly behind your ass to like, oh my God, तूने मुझे call नहीं किया, blah blah blah, and I'm like, bro, please, like, I'm literally working right now. I have 9 to 6, like every day, and by the time I come home, I'm dead. Like I'm done. I don't have social energy. I cannot even like chat. Like I cannot text. My parents only need a yes from me to know that okay, I'm at least alive. That's how much like I'm exhausted. So I don't even talk to them. And you want me to call you every day and do this, do that. I cannot. But yeah, like because some of my friendships, like they're so easy. I don't have to think twice. Like I would literally contact them maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month, and they would still be like, "Oh wow, like you're alive. Good to know." But like, okay, so tell me, I see you're free now. Like, what's going on in your life? They won't hold grudges. Like, oh my God, you did not contact me for a week, and hold that against you forever. And it's just too much, especially when you're like in a different time zone. You cannot handle it all. And that's where I think you need to know that you may lose some friendships, but you should be okay with it.
Yeah, I agree with it, but I think I have had more friendships, long distance friendships, than long distance relationships. Because for a very long time, I think last 2, 3 years, a lot of my friends they shifted to different countries. One stays in Australia, one stays in Canada, some stay in UK, and I think one keeps traveling to UAE and back and forth. So I think the different time zones also somewhere they have kept us like connected, and back friends back in India also, because they are also busy, so we don't talk so much. But when we talk, then we have a lot of things to discuss about, a lot of things to share about. But I would genuinely say that the people who are like in different parts of the world, I think we know each other for nearly a decade, I think now, and we have never been so connected with each other when we were like face to face, because we are more connected now, like we are more close now, I think. Yeah. And when it comes to dating, I think I would never prefer long distance things. It is.
Please do not. Coming from someone who's done it already, please do not. It's miserable, especially if you end up with a goblin-looking guy who has zero personality. Uh, please do not. Literally do not.
I would say, please don't, because it is not nice. As there's a lot of miscommunication that happens, and you end up only like not giving each other space, and that is not happening at all. So,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
yeah.
I think we all have our shares of bits and pieces, tips about dating, long distance or not, and everything. But yeah, have you ever felt like different cultures, dating or friendship are more complicated or something?
Complicated until you know more about it.
Uh,
Because till then you're still like kind of figuring out like, oh my God, like how should I approach them, this, that. But once you know it, and that also happens like quite like spontaneously. I don't think you have to like absolutely do PhD in it. Like, okay, this culture men like this culture men like okay, they're gonna be like this, like that. No, it just happens. You go with flow and stuff. For instance, I think once when I was meeting my friend's parents, the whole concept of auntie, right, back home when you meet someone's mom, it's like auntie G, this, that. Over here, I'd seen all these Hollywood movies, and I was like, oh, finally, like I'm going to my American friend's house. I'm gonna call call her mom, like Mrs. Smith, how are you?
yeah.
And and then I forget that okay. The next time I go to my Chinese friend's house, I pull the same move, and they're like, why call me Mrs. Smith? Call me auntie." And I'm like, oh yeah, like,
It's more like an Asian culture,
yeah,
and
exactly. It's more in Asian cultures that you call them like aunties or something like that rather than by their surname.
exactly. I think even I have learned it that over here I don't call everybody sir because you only call sir to a respected person. And I just call all my teachers by their surname, like Mr. this, Mr. that. Whenever I have to give more respect to somebody, then I'm like, sir, can you please do it?
Yeah, honestly, that's what I think that's one more thing that I like about, for instance, like I said, I work in Paris right now, and I like the whole fact that there's no hierarchy over here, the whole hierarchy system, because I was the first day I was in those expectations that okay, I'll have to call my CEO like sir, boss, whatever, and I was ready for it, honestly. But when I went to the office, he's like, okay. I was like, oh, nice to meet you, sir. Blah blah. He's like, no, call me Stan. Like, call me, you know.
Ah,
And I was like, oh, okay. Like, please, like, you're telling me I don't have to call anybody madam, sir. And it feels more like chill because then you feel like, okay, they're literally like your friends. You know, there's nothing like, oh my God, like boss kind of thing that where you like fear
exactly.
them, like more open, and it feels more comfortable in such environments to work. You know.
Hey, one second. My mom. Ah, okay. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so this is one thing I would, and like I love that, okay, you don't have to like always be like sucking up to someone just because you're working under them, like you're equally respected.
Yeah. No, correctly said. So over here in the podcast, what we do is that we always come up with like some questions that you will like solution based questions that I will ask you, and you will share it from your point of view, and just so that somebody who's listening to us might help them. So if someone is struggling to make friends while studying abroad, what are the three things you would tell them?
Uh, it's okay. Be lonely if you have to. Don't pressurize yourself. Second, go out more. Do not, I would say, isolate yourself enough to a point where you're going bonkers and you know you're crying yourself to bed every night. And third, I would say leave your Indian mindset or your like whichever ethnicity or nationality you belong to, like leave that mindset behind and start afresh. Like come with a new mindset, be open, do not have these reserved blocks that okay, you know, like I'm gonna make friends only with like such people, blah blah blah. Like no, like be open to everything, and that's when you'll find good connections.
Great. I'll take this into consideration because I'm very new here. So let's apply all the 3 points that you just said.
Totally.
And so, what are some practical ways to step out of your comfort zone and connect with new people?
Firstly, yeah, it's the easiest, free of cost. Go to the park. Literally go to the park, take a walk, uh, I don't know, read a book or something. But just go to a park, and maybe I always, whenever I go to parks, like I always see a bunch of like people playing something, like a whole group. Be okay, like put yourself in that group and ask them like, oh, is it okay if I join you guys, and if I could like try what I find this interesting because I see a lot of people do weird things that I mean like weird interesting things that I wouldn't have seen people do back home. So take that opportunity to like actually learn something new and like just put yourself in that.
Mhm. But yeah, it comes with its own price, its own experiences. And then when you appreciate yourself that you have already achieved so much, and then you don't feel like also doing it that, okay, maybe it's enough now. That let's not appreciate ourselves. We have come this far, it's fine. But sometimes that a little self pep talk is also really important.
Totally.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I just want to say that thank you so much, Tia, for reaching out and then also, doing this podcast with me. It really means a lot. And it really shows that I'm really reaching out somewhere.
Thank you so much for having me. Like literally in an instant, I get your message and I'm like, of course, this would be amazing. Like, and
No,
I've
feels
had like
for me
really good
also.
time with like having communication with you. Like it's been amazing.
No, since we are also in the same city now and you are here for a couple of more months, I think we'll get to know each other more better way. And definitely, I'm really looking forward to that. I also made a self promise to myself because in exact like 29 days, I'm turning 24 and I'm really excited for that.
Oh, happy birthday in advance.
29 days before, but yes, thank you.
29 days
But
before.
I think when the episode will launch, it will be nearly my birthday. So we'll see. We'll definitely do something on that. But yeah, like I was saying, that I made a promise to myself that this year I'm gonna meet new people and get to know their story, because this is something that I've discovered, that listening to someone else's story, it really makes me feel good. That at least if they are not benefiting anything out of it, at least I just like to collect memories in that way. Like I get to know them better, I get to know their journey, also I get to make them as my friend, or it can be anything. But yeah, that I really look up to that, and I'm also trying to build like connections, like you said, connection is your uh, what was the sentence you used? Network is your net worth. Yes.
100%.
But yes, thank you so much, Tia. And before wrapping up, that we had a very wonderful time, I think, together sharing our experiences, and also you getting in touch with me. And at the end of the day, like finding your people in a foreign country, it can be hard, but it also comes with a lot of rewarding parts and a lot of experiences and memories, like we talked about.
Totally.
Yeah, but anyways, the listeners who are listening to us today, so if you know that if this episode is gonna help you or somebody or somebody in your community, do share across, and also don't forget to take advice from both of us. We are not experts, but we are like sharing our journeys and our experiences only due to we have come so far from that, and I'm sure that a lot of experiences and journeys are still yet to come, all our ways and your ways too. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also ring the bell icon so that every time I come up with new episodes, you'll get to know and you'll be notified. But again, thank you so much, Tia, for doing this with
So
me.
much and hope to see you soon.
Yes, we will meet really soon. Okay,
100%.
till then, bye.